Hi, I'm Dave Karger. Welcome back to TCM as we continue our tribute to Claudia Cardinale. In the early 1960s, Cardinale broke through as one of the most popular stars in Italian films, and she continued to work steadily for the next 6 decades. She gave her final screen performance in 2022 and passed away last September at 87. Up next is a movie that came 3 decades into Claudia Cardinale's career, and it gave her the chance to work with the audacious and visionary German filmmaker Werner Herzog. From 1982, it's Fitzcarraldo. The inspiration for the film came from a true story about a Peruvian rubber baron named Carlos Fitzcarraldo, who in the 1890s managed to move a steamship through the Amazon on land in order to reach an area of the jungle that was thought to be inaccessible. For director Werner Herzog, the chance to replicate this outrageous feat was too exciting to pass up, and he rewrote the main character in the story as an Irish businessman named Brian Sweeney Fitzgerald. He lives in Peru, where the locals call him Fitzcarraldo, and he dreams of opening an opera house and bringing opera to the natives. But he needs money, and he plans to get it by harvesting rubber in a remote part of the Amazon basin. Claudia Cardinale plays the owner of a brothel who gives him enough money to buy a ship, and he proceeds to attempt the impossible, carting his ship through the jungle, including over a small mountain. Originally, the movie was supposed to reunite Claudia Cardinale with Jason Robards, who had been her co-star in Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in the West. The cast also originally included Mick Jagger playing Robards' sidekick, but the production turned out to be so treacherous and time-consuming that both men had to leave halfway through. The Mick Jagger character was removed from the story, and Jason Robards was replaced by Klaus Kinski. As you're watching, keep in mind that everything in the film was shot on location without any special effects. I'll talk more about the famously troubled production after the movie. From 1982, this is Fitzcarraldo. Werner Herzog, who directed, wrote, and produced Fitzcarraldo, has always had a reputation for taking enormous risks as a filmmaker, and this movie is a perfect example. Herzog brought his cast and crew deep into the Amazon jungle to make the film, and he was determined to avoid using any special effects, even for the sequence where hundreds of indigenous locals move a 300-ton steamship across a mountain. Herzog's commitment to authenticity wasn't the only obstacle the production faced. Halfway through shooting, the original star of the film, Jason Robards, became seriously ill, and his doctors advised him not to return to work in the jungle. He was replaced by Klaus Kinski, who had starred in several of Herzog's earlier films but was notoriously difficult to work with. The production ultimately dragged on for years, and the ordeal was chronicled in a 1982 documentary directed by Les Blanc called Burden of Dreams. Still looking back on it, Claudia Cardinale described making this movie as the best adventure of my life. Up next, Cardinale stars opposite Marcello Mastroianni in an Oscar-winning 1963 film directed by Federico Fellini.
Next on TCM, 8.5, then Don't Make Waves, and later, A Fine Pair. We're not shy with Claudia tonight.